Good morning. Good morning to you, my dear colleague Alexandra, the Swedish Ambassador. Thank you for your very important remarks this morning. Thank you also to dear Rawan Dame, also for congratulations to you and your team for organizing this important event. And it is a testament to your talent for organization. And also to all of my fellow speakers, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, both virtual and here in the room. So just imagine a society without independent media. Most of what you hear on the radio, see on television and the internet, or read in the papers would be under control by those in power to do so. Just imagine being ruled by fear in a society where no one dares to be an independent journalist, or where the public is either actively misinformed or kept uninformed. It would be impossible to address or discuss matters that affect our lives. And I'm sure we all agree that without a free press, it is difficult to speak truth to power. Independent journalism is essential for society to function fully and transparently. But it is undeniably so that the profession is increasingly under threat. As journalism is the oxygen of a democracy, it is worrisome to note that many journalists worldwide have become so vulnerable and unable to perform their mission safely and openly. Now, more than ever. And I'm really pleased to be among you all today to celebrate courageous efforts of Arab, including Jordanian journalists, and to assure you of our continued support to freedom of expression and safety of journalists in Jordan and around the world. In a few days, we will be celebrating International Human Rights Day, a day in which the world comes together to reinforce the point of equality and dignity under human rights. Over time, we have come a long way in addressing injustice and inequality. Since the proclamation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948, people around the world have overall gained more freedoms and greater equality. So there's much to celebrate. But as we are all aware, we can never relent in our fight for human rights, nor can we be complacent in defending our successes. We must stay grounded and realize that the recognition of human rights and dignity for all is yet far from universal. There are still millions of people who continue to suffer from human rights violations and abuses. Their stories, that are the ones that matter, and their stories are the ones that courageously are being told by you, and which ultimately spark changes in our communities. These stories are also told in Jordan, such as the stories by the 100 Ward participants. Let me tell you about Salam Frihat, an independent journalist. And if I'm rightly told, you're here in the room. If so, please recognize. Could you please stand up? Salam Frihat, if you're here. Well, she's not in the room. Oh yeah, there you are. Your coverage focus on human rights issues, and you produce investigative reports for radio and media websites. Salam, ladies and gentlemen, earned her bachelor's degree in journalism from Al Yarmouk University. And during her participation in the 100 Watt project, Salam produced a podcast about public transportation in Jordan. Through Salam's professionalism and talent to listen, she gained the trust of Jordanian women who openly shared their experiences of sexual harassment while using public transportation. Such stories spark discussions of harassment, which may have a positive impact on social change. You will note that reporting is more than producing a text or a podcast or a tea report or an event or sharing a view or an opinion. It starts with an ability or talent to listen to your sources, ask relevant and open questions, and above all, to have an open mind. Make person-to-person connections. And in the process, you will encourage those whom you interview to tell their stories in perhaps an even better, detailed, or comprehensive manner. It adds to your credibility, like in the case of Salam, and thank you very much for your report. Human rights defenders, journalists, and civil society representatives, your job is no easy task. Around the world, you are unfortunately faced with persistent pressure that comes in many different forms, such as limitation on access to information, a rise in self-censorship, and increased threats in an ever-evolving and often anonymous digital world. The Netherlands believes that freedom of speech and freedom of expression are essential for a democracy and a free society. On the international level, including here in Jordan, we are committed to providing our consistent support to these freedoms, both online and offline. This is the main priority of our human rights policy and our human rights portfolio. In Jordan, as anywhere else, we will continue to support our partners who are dedicated to empowering and supporting journalists, especially the young and women journalists, to practice your profession and contribute to the prosperity of this country. Our support is currently being channeled through well-established media organizations who are commended for their work, their very good work, such as ARIJ, of course, ARIJ and SHOUT. And I'm pleased to learn that there are Dutch organizations here with us today. This includes Free Press Unlimited, an important partner of ours, and I hope to see further collaboration between them and Jordanian media organizations. I would like to conclude by sharing to all journalists that every single morning I look forward to reading your reports and listening to your podcasts and TV internet programs. Often it is the first activity I do after waking up. Many colleague diplomatic professionals share that start of the day sentiment, I would say, and this activity with me. We rely more on you than you perhaps would imagine. So, and certainly not for our sake alone, please keep your high quality work coming. Carry on with your mission, with passion, persistence, and positivity. We're with you. Thank you very much.